Now, let's move on to the environmental impact of weapon manufacturing and the testing. Let's start with the basics. What exactly goes into making weapons? The process involves extracting raw material, processing them, and assembling the final product. Each step has its environmental footprint. First, let's look at material extraction. Mining for metals like iron, copper, and the aluminium is a major source of the pollution. It often leads to deformation, soil erosion, and water contamination. For example, in the Dominican Republic of the Congo, mining for coltan used in the electronic weapons has devastated local ecosystem. Next, we have the manufacturing processes itself. Weapons factories consume enormous amount of the energy, contributing to greenhouse gas emission. They also produce hazardous waste, including toxic chemicals and the heavy metals. These pollutants can seep into the soil and the water, harming local communities and the wildlife. But it doesn't stop there. What about weapon testing? Take the Nevada test site in the US, where nuclear weapons were tested during the Cold War. The area remains contaminated with the radioactive materials to this day. Now, let's explore the black market for weapons. The legal arms trade is a multi-billion-dollar industry. It operates in the shadow, away from the public view and the legal oversight, but its effects are felt worldwide, fueling conflict and the violence. Let's start by understanding what we mean by illegal arms. These can range from a small firearm to heavy military equipments. Handguns, assault rifles, and even missiles fall in this category. Any weapon sold or transported without proper authorization is considered illegal. So, where do these weapons come from? Well, there are several sources, each playing a role in this complex network. First, we have weapons stolen from legitimate sources. Military bases, police stations, and even gun shops can be targeted. In 2016, a US military base in Germany reported the theft of several assault rifles and the pistols. These weapons likely ended up in the black market. Next, we have weapons diverted from the legal shipments. Corrupt officials or middlemen might lose a part of a legitimate arms shipment. These lost weapons then find their ways into illegal channels. Then there is the issue of surplus weapons from past conflicts. After war ends, not all weapons are properly accounted for or destroyed. These leftover arms become prime targets for arms dealers. The fall of the Soviet Union, for example, led to the flood of weaponing entering the black market. Now, let's talk about how these weapons move around the globe. Armed traffickers use complex routes to avoid detections. They might ship weapons in the parts distinguished as other goods. Sometimes they use multiple countries as a transit point to confuse authorities. A real-world example of this is a case of Victor Bot, known as the Merchant of Death. Bot used a network of the shell companies and the cargo planes to move weapons globally. He supplies arms to conflict in Africa, Asia, and the South America for years before his arrest. But who buy these illegal weapons? The customers are as varied as the sources. Terrorist groups often rely on the black market to arm themselves. Criminal organizations use these weapons to protect their illegal activities. Even some governments turn to the black market when faced with the armed embargoes. The impact of this trade is devastating. Illegal weapon fuels civil war, making them longer and deadlier. The market for weapons continue to thrive in the shadows, but with awareness, cooperation, and the determined action, we can hope to curb its deadly impact. What are your thoughts on this issue? Share your views in the comments below. If you found this video informative, please like and share with others. Don't forget to subscribe for more in-depth look at global issues. Thank you for watching, and remember, knowledge is the first step towards change.